Not a lot of people know this, but there's something separating Generation Z, and it isn't politics, race, or religion. It's social status and fuck, and social media. Let me explain. God damn, I hate reading this. But before I explain, Generation Z, I mean, there are types of people, that were kids that grew up in the 2000s and started to become teens in the 2010s. As of right now, clearly, the year 2020, they're in their late teens or very early 20s. Generation Z is from 1998 to 2006 and maybe 2007. The generation after Generation Z is Generation Alpha. Right now, Generation Alpha are either babies, kids, or very early teens, like going through puberty. So don't confuse Generation Z with Generation Alpha. Generation Z has a great rise in depression and anxiety because most Gen Zers are isolated and alone. You see most Gen Zers just sit at home and go on their phone or tables and see their peers out having parties, having fun, while they're at home laying on their bed in silence. Seeing their peers out bragging about how great their lives are, posting about it on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, makes them feel sad, alone, and miserable. They feel like they have no meaning. How come their peers are having fun, driving, partying, and dating when they're at home watching YouTube? Seeing all this happening makes them feel nihilistic. It makes them feel bitter, but also gives them the opportunity to make fun of everything. If everything seems unfair, doesn't make sense, then why not just make fun of it? So they make memes as a coping mechanism, an optimistic nihilism, finding laughter and joy out of misery, finding meaning in making fun of everything. Gen Z is split up into two groups. These people, which I will call Group A, and these people, which I will call Group B. Group A are narcissistic, prideful, greedy, and egotistical. They think it's cool to lose their virginity in their teens. They think it's cool to bully people they view as lower than them. To bully people they view as strange. They act like they care about the environment and politics, but really they're doing it just. Group B is more complex. You see a lot of them are lonely, and because of them being lonely, they start to discover a passion for art. But the majority of Group B makes memes about everything because nothing matters. To them, life is unfair, the system is ruined, so why not take everything as a joke? The fact that everything is a joke tells us that why should we take anything seriously? What's even the point if nothing is going to change? If we're all going to die, or if our lives are horrible. And during that time, there was a rise in teens getting more into politics and a rise in underground fashion that was aesthetic. E-girls became more popular, more teens became fascinated with philosophy and history, but the majority adopted the mindset of optimistic nihilism, or in simpler words, shit posters, memers, fuck. Because nothing makes sense, and when nothing makes sense at all, it becomes a joke. Why take everything seriously when there's no hope? And when Group A, the popular kids, these basic girls and fuckboys, start using memes and destroying the whole meaning of memes and ruining the joke to fit in whatever political meaning or problem that they could only relate to, it ruins the fun. It crashes everything down. These people that don't understand meme cultural and make these cringy ass memes, whatever the fuck that is, are usually called normies. They're called this because they're seen as sheep to society. Yeah, no shit. They're people who just don't understand they don't want to understand. Normies, I mean, they were also a term created back in 2016, but it died out around 2018. But this was when we became more divided, through more jealousy, anger, isolation, egoism, narcissism, loneliness, ignorance, and lack of understanding. So many people in Generation Z have such great talent. The only problem is that they don't use it. They're not using their talents effectively. They're not using it to change the world. The people in our generation that don't have talent, that only they get it because of their attractiveness. You know what I'm talking about. They're getting more attention. When real people with amazing talents that could change everything, they get nothing. Only the ones with no talent, they don't get it. I mean, they do get it, but they shouldn't get it. They don't deserve it. People in the future are going to remember this generation as you see, as this. Show a picture of the type of house. If somebody doesn't set up and actually do something to make a change or difference, we obviously need to be remembered for something good. I hate who's representing our generation. These people that aren't talented, they shouldn't deserve all this attention.